So, Carrie, I just went to Target. I got this awesome gingerbread house, but I don't know. You think we can make it cooler than this?
I think we can make it way cooler than this.
Whoa!
So in the next few videos, I'm going to show you how I make a gingerbread house from scratch and how I make a gingerbread house using a kit, and I zhuzh it up a little bit.
This is the kit one.
This is the kit one, and the other one is coming. So in this one, I'll show you how I make the glue, how I make glass windows, and how I use a kit as a base to make a really cool gingerbread house, I think. They're really fun. They come with a lot of candy. They come with icing. I don't really use the icing, but I have this tool, and you could use this or you could use a Dremel tool. I found this to be a lot easier. It's $20 at Walmart, and it's a multi-tool. So some people have the really expensive version of these. These are just 20 bucks. And we bought them because I was doing some built-ins in our family room. And it's been handy for dollhouse crafting and other things. It's pretty powerful. It kind of cuts through this gingerbread like it's butter. So
I can't believe it's not butter.
the size on it happened to be pretty good. When I pulled it out of the box, I was like, oh, this will totally work. And it did. I kept it in the little tray so that it kind of kept the dust and the mess down. And then I made all my horizontal cuts and then went back and made all my vertical cuts. And this was so helpful because I actually did this last year with my Dremel tool. And it was a lot of work.
More like just kind of like poking holes over and over again.
Yeah, and I didn't have any problems breaking the gingerbread. You can see where I was worried about maybe where the windows came together that I would lose. But it's pretty strong stuff. This gingerbread is legit. So I also decided I wanted a glass front door. So I left a little bit of an edge so that it would look like the glass was inset. And this door is arched, so I decided to try to arch it, and I think it worked out fine.
But then... You gotta tell the story. This is a good story.
So after I finished cutting and everything was beautiful, I was
so beautiful.
Dusting off.
People were coming to our house and saying, man, I've got this trophy, and I think you deserve it for this looking so pretty.
Okay, so...
But it was dusty. Because of all the stuff?
And I was using my hand to kind of dust it off. I was holding it in one hand and dusting it off in the other.
As one does.
And I, hit it out of my own hand, went across the counter, and landed on the floor and shattered into a bunch of pieces. And that was my front door piece. So I pieced it back together.
We cried for hours.
No.
Or I did.
And I just added a little more icing to decorating. So if you break pieces, it's okay. Don't worry about it. So I just made the window sugar. And that's 1/3 of a cup of corn syrup, 1/3 of a cup of water, and a cup of granulated sugar. And you heat it to 300 degrees. It's super hot, so be very careful. And I set all of my pieces on a Silpat, and then I poured the sugar directly in. Last year, because I've tried this a few years, I used to pour the sugar onto the Silpat and then put the glass pieces in each window. It's a lot easier if you just pour directly into the windows.
Plop them right in there.
But I did pour a piece, and I'm not cutting all the way through. I'm kind of scoring it with this pizza cutter because I wanted that crissy-crossy pattern. What do we call that?
Window crissy-crossy?
Yeah,
that's the technical term.
I wanted it to look like that in the front door to make it look a little extra pretty. And then I make a glue, and watch how fast this glue works. It's so much better, I think, than using icing.
Wait, how did you make the glue?
So the glue is just sugar and a couple tablespoons of water, and it's heated till it resembles a copper penny. So you can see that color there, and you do have to work really quickly. But look at this, look how fast I set it. It's like using a hot glue gun on a gingerbread house. And then it really is
a delicious hot glue gun.
So My understanding though is that if you live in a humid climate, the humidity can kind of get to the sugar,
like the
and it's not
rainforest.
as strong. So you could use this as a way to be a temporary quick set glue, and then you can go back with icing, with royal icing to kind of reinforce it.
This is the electricals.
Yes, so this is just fairy lights, you know, and I put the battery pack down. So this is on a cake stand. So I pulled the battery pack out from underneath it so that I could control it. You could assemble the roof separately so that you could always take the roof off and turn your lights on and then put the roof back on, but I find that it's easier just to put a little bow or a ribbon around the bottom to cover up the battery pack, and then I can turn it on and off really easily.
This gives it that wow factor, you know, when you turn it on and it lights up from the inside.
Pretty.
I mean, it's like a Christmas jack-o'-lantern.
So I'm just putting this roof on, and this glue, if it gets too
rock solid.
Yeah, it'll start to kind of harden. So you can heat it up on the stove again, but you don't want it to get too dark, or it'll actually start smelling like burned sugar. But this is the same exact thing that you would do if you were making a flan. You would make a sugar water syrup type caramel, put it in a pie plate, and then put the custard on top.
Or what's that other thing? The French thing. It's kind of flanish.
Creme brulee?
Yeah, oui.
But you don't put a caramel.
But it is a little bit
similar.
Right.
Yes, very similar. So then I just reinforced it with a little bit more glue on the top. It's really hot. Like,
nothing is taking this thing down. We broke it once already.
Yes.
This is gonna be rock
I
solid.
broke that front piece into a million little pieces, and you'll be able to see my cracks. But I just covered them up with icing, and I'm going to show you in the next video how I make my own royal icing. But I wanted to show you what it looks like all finished up and pretty and lit up, and we're going to go over that and make another video where I show you how to make everything from start to finish.
Whoa, yeah.
So don't be afraid if you have a kit. Go ahead and use it. They're fun. Anyway, thanks for baking with the Braziers.
Woohoo!